Hey VAT, for the next installment of this project called Doodle on a Photo, I want to talk a little bit about highlights. We've been working really diligently on getting this sort of like dark areas, the shadow areas covered, and a lot of line drawing and things like that. But now I want to switch gears to a new layer. I keep the white ink for the highlights on a different layer than my black drawing. I just like to keep things separate so that I can work on them independently. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my black ink layer, and just so that I don't ever accidentally start drawing on it when I don't mean to, I'm going to lock it. And you can see when I was working on black I had my white ink layer locked, so I'm going to throw away that lock in the garbage to unlock it. And now I can select that white ink layer and I can use brushes that are white or a lighter color. I'm going to stick to white for now just to keep things simple. And I'm going to make my brush kind of smaller and zoom in, Control plus to zoom in. And look at some of these areas that deserve a little bit of white highlight. I'm going to make the brush smaller so that it is a similar size as this highlight on these glasses, on these sunglasses. And I've noticed too that with this there's going to be the light sort of hits it, and it's really there's a hot spot of white, and then it sort of fades as it goes out, so it's kind of like a gradient. So I'm going to make my brush as big as that gradient area, and I'm going to reduce the opacity of my brush, and I'm down to I think I want to set the opacity of the brush to like a 52% to start, and I'm going to I take that back. I'm going to move it down to like 30. I'm going to also change the hardness of the brush from being a hard brush that draws really hard edged, like a pencil kind of, to a soft brush that will have softer edges. And that's when I can come onto this layer and hit it with some white. Now I'm going to reduce it down to that really hard and hit it a couple more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, times. And now when I take that photo away, I should be left with like a nice white highlight that sort of blends out. So I like to use two new things that we haven't yet really discussed, and so one of those things was the opacity, turning that down so that it's not such a harsh, opaque brush, and then also changing the hardness of the brush down to a soft brush so you get that sort of gradient instead of just like a white dot. So it kind of fades out slowly. I'm going to bring back my photo, and I'm going to continue to work with this this highlight that goes along the rim of the sunglasses. And now I'm going to simply use this brush that has 31% opacity, and it's a soft edge brush. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just click and drag, click, 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 and drag, and there's a couple little spots. If I really wanted to be specific, I could go in and I could make some areas kind of whiter than others and layer. And basically I'm layering these brush marks up on top of each other, and eventually when I take that photo away, I don't like that, I'll take that away. When I take the photo away, I should be able to see a little bit of that highlight area, and if I'm happy with it, I leave it. Can't say for sure whether or not I'm happy with that. I'll just have to keep working on it. That's one thing I wanted to show. The other part of it is that's a really easy highlight for me to see. The sun is blasting on those sunglasses, and they're plastic, so they're shooting back a very definite highlight. But there's a lot of highlights in this that I can't see. They're not as obvious. So there's highlights even on a human face, and even on the lips, and even on the teeth, and even just the skin in general is a lot lighter in areas. And so I did a lot of shading with the black pen in the dark areas. Well, I would continue to do those same things on the face, but now instead of using black, I'd be using a white brush, and I could be drawing by zooming in and using the white brush, could take back the opacity, and I could take back the full hardness of the brush, and then I can draw, reducing the brush size. And continue to work in a similar style. This is kind of like my drawing style, like a lot of mark making and stuff. So when I take the photo away, I end up with something like that. I'm gonna hit pause. I'm gonna work for. So just got done kind of putting in some highlights, just kind of looking for areas that are getting hit with some direct sunlight. The photo looks like this, and hopefully you can kind of see the places where I was looking, some of these like really bright highlights, and I was putting those in. Just a lot of squinting my eyes to see what's going on, and seeing those highlights and those shadows and putting them in. So I hope this helps. Good luck.